Jordan Peterson has warned about many things, but there's one theory that stands above the rest. A theory so dark that, if true, we are already on the path to destruction without even realizing it. This isn't just a prediction, it's a warning about how societies collapse, how truth dies, and how control is slowly tightening around us all. Listen carefully, because what he's about to say might be the most important thing you hear today.
People don't understand how societies descend into tyranny. They think it happens suddenly, as if a dictator just appears one day and seizes control. But that's not how it works. It happens in increments. It starts when people stop speaking the truth, when they begin to self-censor, not because they're forced to, but because they're afraid. History is clear on this. Every major totalitarian regime didn't start with guns and prisons. It started with words, with ideas. It started when people were told what they could and couldn't say, and eventually, what they could and couldn't think. We are walking into a time where truth itself is being negotiated, where history is rewritten in real time, where people are afraid to speak openly, not because they don't have opinions, but because they know the consequences of expressing them. And once a society reaches that point, the descent is almost inevitable. People imagine that tyranny is something that comes from the top down, but that's not the most dangerous kind. The most dangerous form of tyranny is the one that comes from the bottom up, from the culture itself. It's when ordinary people become enforcers of the dominant ideology, when silence becomes a virtue and obedience becomes morality. That's when you know you're in trouble. You don't need a dictator when people police themselves, when they turn on their friends, their colleagues, even their own family members to prove their loyalty to an idea. We've seen this before, over and over again. And yet, every time it happens, people say, it could never happen here. But it does. And when it does, it's already too late. Technology has amplified this process. It's no longer just governments controlling speech. It's corporations, social media platforms, AI. It's digital erasure. If you say the wrong thing, you don't just get punished, you disappear. Your accounts vanish, your livelihood is threatened, your entire existence online can be erased with the push of a button. And this isn't speculation. It's happening now. We are being conditioned to accept this, to believe that certain voices deserve to be silenced, that dissent is dangerous, that certain truths are too harmful to be spoken aloud. But once we accept that, we have already lost. Because a society that cannot speak openly is a society that is already controlled. The question is, how far are we willing to let this go before we fight back?
Jordan Peterson is not exaggerating. He is not fear-mongering. He is laying out a pattern, one that has played out time and time again throughout history. And right now, all the warning signs are flashing red. Are we already past the point of no return? Or is there still time to push back before the system takes full control? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to hear more of Peterson's most terrifying insights, make sure to subscribe, because the truth is becoming harder to find.